A Russian Su-27 fighter jet collided with an American MQ-9 drone over the Black Sea. The command clarified that the drone fell into international waters after the collision. It is alleged that the Su-27 had allegedly been performing unsafe maneuvers shortly before. The incident was the first time since the Cold War that a U.S. aircraft had crashed due to the impact of Russian aircraft.
A drone to crash in the Black Sea, with U.S. officials warning of escalation.
This incident demonstrates a lack of competence in addition to being unsafe and unprofessional.
And we don't want to see this war escalate beyond what it already has done to the Ukrainian people. And so this was inappropriate, unsafe, unprofessional conduct by the Russian pilots.
So again, the Biden administration's great at going into the fetal position when attacked. Congresswoman Nancy Mace joins us now. Congresswoman, I know the gravity of the situation, but the Russians should understand what the gravity is if you do things like this. Don't you agree?
Yes, and there ought to be consequences to their actions. But the problem is that when America is weak, the world is weak. And you mentioned earlier, Brian, our withdrawal from Afghanistan, the way in which we did that. Our world leaders saw that. They saw our weakness in the way we've dealt with China. They see our weakness on the world stage, and we're vulnerable because of that. And so far, in the last 24 hours, it's just been a slap in the wrist. Russia is bad. And those are just empty words, but we have to take action. We cannot allow this to not have any consequences. And if we're unwilling to shoot down a Russian jet who brings down one of our pieces of equipment, then we ought to be exacting more sanctions on Russia. There ought to be consequences to their actions.
Then we should send 3 drones today, right over there in international airspace. Let's do it. And that costs us $32 million, and we call them unprofessional. What an embarrassment that is. And from an admiral, he should know better.
This is how the U.S. commented on its position, claiming that a Russian Su-27 fighter jet struck the propeller UAV MQ-9, thereby shooting it down. Let's move on to Russia's side. Washington does not take into account the fact that there are flight restrictions in the coastal areas of the Black Sea after the start of the special operation in Ukraine. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov told journalist Pavel Zarubin in the program Moscow, Kremlin, Putin. This is how he commented on the incident that occurred the day before with an American MQ-9 drone.
Вы слышали, как представители Пентагона, Объединенного комитета начальника штабов заявляли, что США продолжат и впредь летать, где им заблагорассудится в соответствии с международным правом, но если вставать на эту логику, то пространство вокруг Соединенных Штатов имеет тот же самый статус, что и пространство над Черным морем. Но они игнорируют полностью тот факт, что после начала специальной военной операции наши военные объявили соответствующие районы Черного моря, прилегающие к берегу в определенных местах, как районами, которые имеют ограниченный статус для использования любыми летательными аппаратами. И вот такое, я бы сказал, вызывающее игнорирование этого объективного факта, конечно, наводит на мысль о том, что американская сторона пытается постоянно искать какие-то провокации для нагнетания конфронтационных своих подходов. Это плохо, потому что они постоянно заявляли, что являются ответственной державой, заинтересованы в стратегической стабильности. Мне, кстати, это и госсекретарь Блинкен говорил в ходе встречи в Индии, но слова расходятся с делом.
Для глобальной безопасности это что такие? Для
глобальной безопасности любые инциденты, которые провоцируют столкновение двух великих держав, двух ядерных держав, крупнейших в мире, всегда дает очень серьезные риски. Они этого не могут не понимать.
The U.S. completely ignores the fact that after the start of a special military operation, our military declared the relevant areas of the Black Sea, adjacent in certain places, as areas with restricted status for the use of any aircraft, the minister said. He also said that such actions by Washington looked like a provocation aimed at raising tensions. According to Lavrov, the United States constantly says that it is a responsible power interested in strategic stability. However, the foreign minister noted that there is no agreement between their statements and their actions. Lavrov stressed that any incidents that would prompt 2 great nuclear powers to clash always pose a great risk. According to him, the U.S. authorities cannot fail to understand this. The Russian Defense Ministry reported that in the morning of March 14, An American MQ-9 drone with its transponders turned off violated the boundaries of the area of temporary airspace use over the Black Sea. According to the agency, the drone was moving toward the Russian border in Crimea, and Russian fighter jets took to the air to identify the intruder. Due to sharp maneuvering, the drone went into uncontrolled flight with loss of altitude and fell into the water. The Russian fighters did not make contact with the MQ-9, did not use onboard weapons, and safely returned to their home airfield, the Defense Ministry stressed. We have parsed the opinion of the two sides. What do you think really happened and who is telling the truth? Let us know in the comments section. See you in the next video.